Because I had a whole thing planned, and I was giggling to myself at work, and then Jake had to fucking ruin it by being an abortion.
He himself is an abortion.
Yeah.
Like, I had to, like, register what the fuck he just said to me. Like, he himself is an abortion.
Police are on the scene of a deadly shooting.
Graphic orgies of blood and violence.
Mutilation, decapitation, torture. Does that sound entertaining? More blood than a blood bank. Have we got your attention?
Unbelievable crime at the hands of satanic cults.
Despite dozens of tips, help from federal agents, and a $40,000 reward, investigators say there are few solid leads.
If you find this disturbing, just wait, because there is a whole other dimension.
You are now listening to A Morning Cup of Chaos.
So, we would like to start this episode off with some very sad news. Our two co-hosts, Thomas and Jacob, have passed away. So, it's our New Year's resolution. Dylan, what are your New Year's resolution?
I was thinking about going to the gym.
Yeah, you need it. Fucking, what's your name? Tyler, what's your resolution?
Wow. This is a banging start, honestly, this intro is.
You can't correct perfection. I'm just gonna. Do you see how?
No, that's mine. Pick something else.
You see how?
No, pick something else.
New Year's resolution. For more people to listen to my podcast.
Your podcast.
My
Wow, I
podcast.
see how it is. Okay.
Our podcast. My podcast. The People's Podcast.
Yeah, the People's Podcast. I like that one.
What's yours?
None, because resolutions say that there's imperfections, and I am perfect the way I am.
You just took what I said.
That's
and
why I
rebranded
fucking.
it.
That's what the last.
Except for how you said it was like coherent and like a full sentence, and you didn't have to like stop and think about it. Like you're a fucking
I
giant
panicked.
monkey
Okay,
person.
you guys made me panic. No, but the last year we, I guess the start of last year we did the resolutions, and that's what I said. I was like, resolutions.
Did we do resolutions last year?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, and I was like, resolutions mean that I'm imperfect, and I'm perfect just the way I am.
I can't remember what mine is.
It's because you're worthless.
I don't do them.
It was actually
Yeah.
to have a better memory. So it's kind of fucked up that you mentioned it.
See, like my thing is that I'm toxic, and I will bring people down to my level, and that's how I defeat them.
You know what's also toxic? Sarin gas! Today we are talking about Aum Shinrikyo, part fucking 2, boys!
Oh, I'm Diabetic Daddy, intern, God, whatever his name is. Go on.
I am the fearless leader, Tyler Campbell, not God.
Yeah, so is Jim Jones. Go on, Dylan. You gonna fucking read?
Do when we last left off.
When we last left off.
In your most, like, true crime voice. You brought it last time.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
It's like any true crime documentary. He was a great person until he wasn't. Dun dun.
All right, if you guys are just joining us for part 2, then that means you need a recap on part 1. Part 1, we met a young Shoko Asahara known as Chizuo Matsumoto back in the day. We followed him through his cram school and college dreams. He decided to not follow any of that and become a con artist and a cult leader. We left off at an accidental murder, about 1 billion yen, and one totally real murder of 3 whole innocent Japanese people over religious tax exempt status.
Yep, this guy was out there talking about how their cult or their religion was a fraud, and he was going out in the media and talking about how bad this cult was. So Shoko Asahara did the one thing that any cult leader at this point in time should do. He silenced the voice that was out speaking against him. So let's dive.
What's up, Putin?
Damn, just calling Russia out like that.
What the fuck he's gonna do? He shits
I didn't know he
himself.
listened, though. That's cool. Thanks, Putin, for the listen and the
Jesus
follow, hopefully.
fucking-
I hope you gave us a 5-star.
Jesus, they're going to nuke our studio. They're just going to pinpoint it. Isn't there like a carpet bomb? carpet bomb. They're gonna carpet bomb the fuck out of us.
This isn't fucking Vietnam.
Oh, I'm so scared.
I'm gonna carpet munch this whole place. Is that what was that what we're talking about? That's a military term, right?
Fucking. I was gonna make a Louisiana joke, but I can't anymore.
Okay.
So let's dive deep into this episode, part 2, Shinrikyo.
As we get back into it, we're gonna start with botulinum. Botulinum is defined by the World Health Organization as an anaerobic bacterium. Nailed it! Ingesting botulinum bacteria can lead to a life-threatening illness called botulism. Common symptoms of botulism are nausea, vomiting, weakness, abdominal pain, diarrhea, constipation, and dizziness.
Wow, you said it just like any kind of
any
commercial drug.
Any ibuprofen commercial.
I'm glad you guys got that. That's what I was going for. Following that are all neurological symptoms: blurred or doubled vision, difficulty speaking and swallowing, dry mouth, fatigue, difficulty breathing, and loss of muscle coordination. In most cases, the cause of death after contracting botulism is asphyxia.
Also known as low blood sugar for diabetics.
You basically you basically turn inside out. Like that's botulism. It's like the most terrifying thing I've ever heard of.
Dude, being poisoned sounds absolutely terrible. I was listening to a lot of stuff about poisoners and black widows and like shit like that, and I'm just like, you know what? It all sounds pretty bad.
You know,
in the end, I'm thinking about it, it's all bad.
The only time I will accept poisoning is King Joffrey.
Hey,
that was a good one. That was a good one.
Watching him die. Watching a fucking 12-year-old die.
I don't know if you get.
I don't think that's ever made so many people happy before.
Oh, dude, I like almost cried at that point. In time.
Yeah, same. I was like, this is bad.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen M. Night Shyamalan's The Sixth Sense, but anytime I think about poisoning, I think about the little girl from the beginning of the movie who, like, her stepmom was slowly poisoning her food so she wouldn't get better, and eventually it went too far and she ended up dying.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing, stepmom? Incest joke.
Gore. In spring of 1990, Asahara instructed Seiji Endo to lead the biological and chemical weapons team. This new team would be charged with harvesting C. botulinum bacteria from the soil in the Ishikagawara Basin in Hokkaido. In order to better study chemical warfare and expand their income, during May of 1990, the cult purchased 14 acres of land in Namino. However, the purchase was made fraudulently. Hawakawa conducted a scheme to buy the land under the name of several non-existent companies and immediately began construction for the new research facility without receiving clearance. Along with housing the bacteria, the facility would be a business venture for Aum Shinrikyo. Reconnecting with the Yakuza, Asahara used his connections to begin producing and selling methamphetamines. Oh yeah, boys. We're
Selling
getting into
drugs. Breaking Bad. Just not good at it.
Was Breaking Bad meth?
Yeah.
Or was it crack?
It was meth.
I've never seen Breaking Bad.
Walter White. Are you shitting me?
Yeah, it's like the whole fucking thing.
I didn't know if it was meth
It's
or
like
crack.
It's
episode
literally
1.
like, you literally don't even have to watch it to know it's about meth.
Yeah, they sold meth, and the Yakuza branded it as stuff because it was so dirt shit bad. Like, when you make... I'm not a scientist. I
thought we were talking about Breaking Bad at first. I was
I'm
like, wow,
not
I need to watch it.
That's kind of how I got this point. Is I'm not a meth head. I've never smoked meth in my entire life, but there's purity forms of it. Like the higher purity form, the better the high is.
Like virgin or McDonald whore.
Yeah, so if you see what I have in my hand right now, you see the one with the little specks in it, those crystals? Yeah, those are bad. Yeah, that's
okay.
bad.
We should try
that's
that after this.
shit.
Yeah, we should try that.
No, not that shit. We're going to try this clear shit
That's
right
the
here.
blue one, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that's the
okay.
most pure.
All
All right, we're going to do that. Not that we condone drug use, but we're totally going to do drugs. I'll have one drug, please.
Have one, please.
I was gonna make a disclaimer that this is not actually a drug deal going on, but if you still believe it after listening to that, you're an idiot, so it doesn't matter.
Are you a cop? No. One alcohol, please.
God, I'm gonna go fucking drink joint after this, guys. I need to really relax.
I'm gonna smoke some Miller Lite.
Asahara used his connections to begin producing and selling methamphetamines. As a new dealer to Japan's mafia members, Asahara also ended up recruiting several members into the cult. Mirai acted as a mouthpiece between the Yakuza and Aum Shinrikyo. In the summer of 1990, Mirai was ordered to take both chlorine and VX nerve agent into the Namino facility. VX, also known as Venomous Agent X. Oh, that sounds so cool. That sounds like a video game character.
Sounds like what Professor X made the
I was gonna
Powerpuff
say, it
Girls
sounds like
out
a
of.
fucking DC superhero villain.
It sounds like a fighting game character. Venomous Agent X.
I mean, I'm terrified just hearing about it.
Well, you should be. It is an odorless, tasteless, oily amber liquid used as a chemical warfare agent and developed by the British in 1952, back when we really knew how to poison people.
What happened to poison? We should bring that back.
Poisoning people?
Yeah.
Geneva Convention, I think, is what
Yeah.
happened, actually.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Who the fuck's Geneva and fuck that hoe?
I don't know. I've never met her.
I don't know.
I thought it was a place.
It's a document, and
Shut
I
up,
love you
Toop.
guys.
Go on.
All right.
I don't listen to rap music.
Dumb. Help me. Help me get out of here.
Originally created in experimentation to develop a better insecticide, VX is considered to be the most powerful of all known nerve agents. Common symptoms of being exposed to VX include, oh, fuck yeah. Abnormally low or high blood pressure, blurred vision, chest tightness, confusion, cough, diarrhea, drooling, and excessive sweating, drowsiness, eye pain, headache, increased urination, nausea, vomiting, and or abdominal pain, rapid breathing, runny nose, slow or fast heart rate, small, pinpoint pupils, watery eyes, and weakness.
I just want to let the audience know we didn't edit that to fast forward or speed up or anything.
That's just him.
That's Dylan off meth right there. He's on that blue shit. Not that shit like Tyler.
Exposure,
dumb shit.
exposure to a larger dose can lead to convulsions, loss of consciousness, paralysis, respiratory failure, and death.
Now get your... Fuck.
And live a happier life.
Now get your fuck. Oh, cool. So that's our new Hims commercial, right?
Hey, ladies. You ever been so tired of just not getting off? Try. Oh, fuck! Comes in blue pills. It'll make him last longer, hard as a rock. If a boner lasts for more than 16 hours, keep on fucking.
Apply the discount fuck at checkout for 10% off.
Spelled F-U-C-K-U.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck. With enough complaints from the Namino locals, the police moved in to arrest 3 Aum Shinrikyo leaders that had been involved in a fraudulent purchase and unauthorized construction. Shaken by the arrests, Asahara ordered that all of the chemical and biological warfare and research be destroyed to hide evidence of his plans. The facility was scrubbed. Aum Shinrikyo went under the radar.
So close.
I can read really fast when I want to. The facility was scrubbed. Aum Shinrikyo went under the radar for almost 2 years. Behind the scenes, Aum Shinrikyo worked on some less than holy plans. Asahara took several trips to Russia over the next year to meet up with the Nobel Prize winner, Nikolai Grinyaevich Bashkov.
Nailed it.
Hell yeah. He's Russian. They're bad right now.
What do you mean right now?
You mean all of history?
Give me a time Russia was good.
Bazov's background in Soviet Russia was primarily physics and education. He's a pretty cool teacher. His work was with planning and creation of a laser and maser combination. Maser stands for microwave amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. Fuck. Aum's presence in Russia grew rapidly over the years, eventually reaching 30,000 members. The cult set up a university in Moscow and nightly television broadcast and began directing radio transmissions ins and out of Vladivostok.
You even added like a little like Russian like hint to that. That was nice.
Endo resumed as head of biological warfare with a new weapon in mind, anthrax. But it is, every time I do see it, I'm like, anthrax, woo! Like, that's a bussin' ass shit right there.
Who sings that song?
It's
a band.
Was it a band?
Anthrax is a band.
Anthrax is a
Is
band.
Yeah, it's a band.
And a
Oh.
poison.
And a poison.
Poison's a band. I know that.
Yeah, that's kind of a band. It's like saying Foghat's a band. That's kind of
Who?
pushing it.
Who's Foghead?
Foghat.
Who's Foghat?
Slow ride?
Slow ride.
Oh, okay.
Look, you get it.
Yeah. I know shit.
According to the CDC, Anthrax is a serious infectious disease caused by gram-positive, rod-shaped bacteria known as Bacillus anthracis.
Say it right.
Bacillus anthracis.
Sorry, Dad.
I'm sure he sounds more like anthrax is a serious infectious disease caused by gram-positive, rod-shaped bacteria known as Bacillus anthracis.
You're racist.
Gesundheit. Anthrax's effects vary depending on the... God damn it. Anthrax's effects vary depending on the way a person comes in contact with it. The 4 types of anthrax include cutaneous, inhalation, gastrointestinal, and injections. Ooh.
You know, all these symptoms and
Side effects.
just sound like a bad night at Taco Bell.
That's what happens when you eat Taco Bell?
You die when you eat Taco Bell?
Listen, there are some days.
Symptoms can take anywhere from 1 to 60 days to appear and can range from painless black skin, ulcers, to bloody diarrhea, regardless. Oh man, that one's not even fun. Sorry, guys. Symptoms can take anywhere from 1 to 60 days to appear, and they can range from painless black skin ulcers to bloody diarrhea.
Oh, just like syphilis.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just making shit up.
I've
It's
never
somebody
had-
else's job to prove me wrong.
I've never had it, I don't think.
Wait, I missed the question. My mom messaged us about the merch.
Syphilis.
What about syphilis?
Exactly. Continue on.
Black skin ulcers and bloody
Yeah.
diarrhea.
Yeah, your body falls apart.
Gross.
That's how Al Capone died.
Yep.
My hero.
No, my hero didn't die. He's
No,
that-
yeah.
That's his
Deku
name's
is-
Deku. and
Oh,
he's still
that's
alive.
an anime. I know that one.
No, you don't.
I just know the title. I don't know anything about it. That's the one with the cowboy, right?
I
Yes.
hate everything about this.
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
place.
that's this one right here.
Is it really?
No, that's actually the one about the cowboy. Kind
Yeah.
of space cowboy.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
my,
you're so cute.
it's my favorite anime. I got a lighter.
I've
with
never
it.
even watched the whole
Have I shown you
anime.
my lighter?
Mm-mm. Oh yeah, the
fucking.
the one that yeah,
We're
that
so
one's
off
sick.
topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not. Regardless of how a person comes into contact with anthrax, if untreated for long enough, exposure could lead to death. Starting in April of 1993, Aum expanded further in a way that was unexpected to say the least. The cult formed 2 companies, Clarity Investments Ltd. And Mahaposa Australian Ltd. These companies had some of the coolest free-flowing names ever and went on to buy 500,000 acres of farmland in Banjacawan, Australia, according to the Australian Federal Police. The farm sat on a well-known uranium deposit.
Oh, okay.
Well, duh, why else did they buy 500?
Nefarious.
Why else did they buy 500,000
I'm surprised the
acres?
Australian government didn't like red flag that immediately. Like, oh, this church wants to move here. Oh, they want the uranium deposit area. Let them have it. It's fine.
Why do they let people do that? I never,
Uranium?
I've never thought about that. Why would you let someone buy land with uranium? I'd
Because
be
it's
like,
fucking Australia. The only thing that's going to kill you is the animals or the fucking land.
Or the people.
Fuck the people.
I bet uranium could probably still kill you. Even
That's
in
exactly
Australia.
what it does. Fucking look at me
No,
like
it's a
that.
power source. You fucking idiot.
Uranium?
It's
Yeah.
a power source.
Isn't that radioactive?
No.
Yes,
Is
but it
it?
doesn't kill you just to kill you. That's not like
Well,
what
no,
it's for.
it's
You
not
idiot.
to kill you, but
You're like, that's what it's for.
Is uranium
Yes,
Yeah.
uranium is
Yeah.
super. Dude, if you fucking ate a piece of uranium, your fucking body would turn into
or you
a
get
toe.
radioactive poisoning.
The farm sat on a well-known uranium deposit. With this knowledge, the cult's companies worked under the guise of mining and exploration ventures.
Y'all want to get me a Christmas present? Give me a mic stand. Jesus.
Scared the shit out of all of us.
It came at me like a fucking rabid baboon. What happened?
They charged me like a spider monkey ready to tear my face off a fucking skull.
Shinrikyo.
Clever girl.
This is my Steve-O impression.
On this farmland, the cult built a large laboratory building and procured mining licenses, computers, and chemistry equipment.
That's where Dexter's laboratory came from.
The cult kept around 2,000 sheep. The doors of the facility read Dexter's Laboratory. Just kidding. It read Toyota Laboratory.
My favorite holiday, Toyothon.
No, Toyota. Like, what? It's true.
That was the worst fucking goddamn Star Wars joke I've ever fucking heard.
I want you to read the rest of the story like Yoda.
Oh my fucking.
Oh, I'd have to. I couldn't do that. I'd have to fucking like piece it apart in my mind and put it back together. That'd be
He
so
can't even fucking read the story like
it's so
himself.
fucking hard. All right, you heard me list those fucking side effects, dude. I kill that shit. I could be in commercials. By May 28th of 1993, seismographs in Banjawarn began to go off, followed by a large explosion and tremendous rubble. Fuck.
The medicine?
By May
Our new sponsors.
By May 28th of 1993, seismographs in Banjawarn began to go off, following a large explosion and tremendous rubble. The ground shook and the sky lit up near the Colt's new laboratory. A fireball was visible in the sky, witnessed by locals. While no hard evidence was found, the Australian Federal Police theorized that the Colt had been testing homemade nuclear weapons in the desert.
So wait, what did the people see in the sky?
A fireball. I don't know what you're doing right now.
Fireball by Pitbull?
No.
He goes, Mr. Worldwide, Dale, 300.
Fireball.
I'm not hip enough.
Oh,
for this
and
shit.
I'm fucking stupid for not knowing who the Ramones are.
You are.
You are pretty stupid.
Fireball's the most. Continue reading.
Oh my fucking god.
Shut the fuck up.
I would debate that Hotel Motel Holiday Inn is his most known song if that's how you were going to finish that. But
I got that song stuck in my head.
Yep, me too. The second he said it,
Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn.
I want that to be our opener.
Dylan, get the fuck on it.
got to finish the episode first. Asahara released a statement the same year stating,
You make the one Asian man of the group read.
it's not racist if you do it technically.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you're Asian?
Yeah. We've had so many talks about. Have you just look at me for 2 seconds?
He really doesn't. I don't think you know that.
No, so you guys want to have a fucking conversation in the goddamn group chat when I'm fucking sleeping throughout the entire
fucking
day.
God.
Dude, you sleep all day.
Then-
You literally sleep all day.
I know, and
what
that's
do you
when
want us
most
to
of the
do?
conversations are.
Talon's like, don't talk all day because I'm asleep.
Wait till 6 o'clock at night so I can join the conversation, and then I'll ignore you.
So I can say, fuck you.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So I can bring my toxicity in. Rady Asian man.
You have the one Asian man read this. I totally understand. From now on, until the year 2000, a series of violent phenomenon filled the fear with those too difficult to describe will occur. Japan will turn to a wasteland as a result of a nuclear weapon attack. This will occur in 1996 through January 1998. An alliance centering around the United States will attack Japan. A large city in Japan, 1/10 of its population will be able to survive. 9 out of 10 people will die.
1 teat. 1 teat. I also have one of a teat.
You have one tit?
I have one tit.
I'm so sorry.
My nipple fell off.
During your accident?
From syphilis?
Mom,
And
is
meth.
that you?
Can you lose a nipple to diabetes?
Yup.
That'd be fucked up.
You
Could
lose eyes, hearts, and a nipple.
Could you imagine if you felt totally fine and one day you just got in the shower and you were like scrubbing and your nipple
It just
fucking
falls
fell
off.
on the ground?
Wax
Like-
my nipple!
What do I do here? What do I do?
my nipple!
Get the needle and fucking thread. Let's go. Let's stitch this bitch back on upside down. I've always wanted to see what the bottom side of my nipple looked like.
At the same time in Japan, Aum Shinrikyo had developed 20 metric tons of liquid containing anthrax.
I'm fucking American. We don't follow the metric system.
I'm sure 20 metric tons is like 5
At
tons.
least 20 pounds.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. It's, yeah. At least 10.
At least a solid 10.
The spray they created would speak to the skin. No, spread. The spray they created would spread to the skin, lungs, and mouths of their victims. From May to July, the cult conducted several unsuccessful attempts to infect citizens with the anthrax liquid. Between July and August, the cult attempted testing this method again, another 10 to 20 times, using a high vantage point to disperse the liquid around Tokyo, but were once again unsuccessful. Could you imagine if they would have been successful? 10 to 20 times they went out into fucking Tokyo, like one of the most fucking people-filled places ever.
It's so people-filled because it's so compact. Like they're living on top of each other.
Exactly. And then they dropped 10 to 20 times, dropped poison from the fucking sky, like they're a mix between like Scarecrow and Green Goblin.
And that's how the movie Solvent Green happened.
Soylent?
That's what I said.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
You said solvent.
No, it's
You
Soylent.
said solvent.
I said Soylent.
You said
Shut the fuck up. I said
Mason.
Soylent.
Oh wait,
Oh!
Dylan, play it back.
I'm in charge.
Yeah, and you know, it's crazy. Is our own government did this kind of stuff with LSD, but definitely, I don't think that they can compare what they did in San Francisco to what they did in Japan. But I don't like. Were there any casualties during this? I mean, did anybody get sick? I mean, anthrax is fucking people up.
The only reports given to police regarding these attempts were actually complaints about foul odors coming from a cooling tower on the roof of Aum Shinrikyo's headquarters. That's it. Just this foul smell.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You're spreading a dangerous. I mean, you guys are probably too young to remember, but the anthrax scare.
He says you guys are probably
He was like
too fucking...
5 years old.
Yeah,
when
he's
that
literally
happened.
like 5 years older than
Yeah,
us.
fucking.
All right, go fuck yourself.
Okay, boomer.
Do you remember the anthrax?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's the one that fucking sent him out when he was like 3 years old.
He doesn't remember his fucking dinner last night. That's so
They make valid points. They make valid points. Ask me what I did yesterday, and I'm just gonna stare at you like, what happened yesterday?
He's like, you mean in between wanting to cry and wanting to kill myself? I don't really remember.
Not very much.
Topping this off, only 2 of the 4 members who applied for overseas visas to go back to Australia were successful. Asahara couldn't give up here, though. Instead, they switched tactics once again, and a cult member named Masimi Tushiya would be the one to lead the cult's next deadly liquid of choice. Anybody? Anybody know what the next deadly liquid was? It's not diarrhea after Talon eats Taco Bell.
I got nothing.
I wasn't paying attention.
Sarin.
Oh!
We're finally here.
We're talking about sarin gas. Sarin, otherwise known as G-Series or GB. Oh, dude, that's cool. That sounds like a Resident Evil thing.
Yeah, like you're gonna get infected by the GB, and all it is just a gas that like turns your body into like liquid.
Jeffrey, go get the G-Series. We need to make fuck zombies.
There we go.
GB is a synthetic compound containing phosphorus. Oh, that's it. Containing phosphorus. Similar compounds are used in pest control and extermination. But sarin was created in 1930s by the Nazis. Fuck yeah,
Nice.
man. They were like, you know who can't make a good poison? Those stupid fucking Brits. Time to steal from the Nazis.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Speaking of which,
Fun fact of the day.
Nazis did meth too.
Yeah, that's why the Blitzkrieg was a thing. They were just constantly going.
And speaking of which, they got that from Vikings who used to take mushrooms and become barbarian and berserkers.
Yep.
All right, so back to the Nazis. Colorless and odorless. Not the Nazis. I'm sure they smell like sauerkraut and death.
Bunch of bitches.
Sauerkraut worse than sour cream.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
I guess.
That's totally a real thing, but it's like not. I'm not even gonna.
I don't even know what he's talking about anymore.
Email us at our email
metamisfortune@gmail.com. That's the name.
and tell us which sour thing you hate more, sour cream or sauerkraut.
Or the sour puss.
I'm not doing that. Don't email us.
don't even want to.
Don't even fucking email us. Sarin is a hard liquid to discern. The liquid is highly volatile and can easily be converted into aerolized vapor. While hard to detect visually, sarin's effects on the human body are quick and intense, setting in 1 to 10 minutes after inhalation. Initial symptoms include tightness in the chest, nasal drip, and constriction of the pupils. Chest tightness then leads to a difficulty breathing. Next, nausea and drooling will ensue. followed by the loss of control over bodily functions, meaning defecation, urination, and vomiting may occur. After this, the body begins to seize and convulse. Death is commonly caused by a buildup of a watery sputum in the lungs or spasms of the bronchial muscles. I'm not a doctor.
Okay, so something like this, people, whenever you hear this, you're like, oh, this probably happens over time. No, this is like instant. Like you're shitting yourself, you're vomiting, you're bleeding from your fucking eyes. Just you can't breathe. It's fucking instant.
It's just like Taco Bell.
I guess if we're going back to the Taco Bell defense, but it's just like it's so fucking fast. It just comes at you, and by the time you realize that you've been poisoned by the sarin gas, it's too late. You're already fucking done.
It's like rabies.
No.
I feel like you're just shooting.
I don't
at
think it is.
shit
No,
in
it's just
the
like because
dark.
by the time you realize you have rabies, it's already late.
No, you can get the shot.
You usually realize you have rabies right after you get bit by a wild animal.
No, you don't.
Usually, you're supposed to get
shot.
checked every time you get bit by a wild animal to make sure you don't have rabies.
If you don't know it, like by the time the rabies set effect, you're gone.
Yeah. No, but this is like instant. This is like
I'm right.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm
You're
just
looking
saying
at
I
me like
don't
I'm stupid.
think
I
sarin
am
and rabies
stupid,
are the
but
same.
you know I'm right.
this shit is instant. It is like it's 0 to 10 instantly. The second that bag or whatever it's contained in is popped, you're done. You're done.
0 to 100.
0 to 100, 0 to 10, whatever.
Big difference.
0 to 60 in 5 seconds. Now, the Kia fuck. The Kia fuck, also part of our new ad campaign for Oh Fuck.
Hey guys, are you tired of people judging the size of your dick? Guess what we have for you? We've got the Kia Fuck. Comes in all-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive with the roller down windows. Come on down to your local Kia shop so you can get fucked right in the ass for only $85.99.
That's German for no.
Others can die from overstimulation of the neuromuscular junction, commonly called sludge. Or, damn, that sounds cool, dude. I want to go see a show by Sludge.
I'm almost positive there's a death metal or doom metal band called Sludge out there. It's just like just rippers. I'm sorry, you guys don't understand.
No, I love death metal.
The doom metal is just like that shit that you smoke to and just chill.
Is doom metal like new rock?
No.
Doom metal's like
Black Sabbath. It's like
not really.
Black Sabbath.
It depends.
Black
some
Sabbath is
Black
like-
some
yeah.
Black Sabbath.
It's like slow metal,
the
but
Black
like
Sabbath. No.
Am I too young for that?
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Too young for good music taste.
Commonly called sludge or salivation, lacrimation, urination, defecation, gastrointestinal distress, and emesis.
Like that enemy on. Oh no, that's Nemesis.
Yeah,
On Deep Rock Galactic. There's an enemy.
no, that's. I thought he was
I was
gonna say Resident
I thought he was
Evil.
continuing.
I got
to
really
Resident Evil.
excited.
know,
I was like,
did
"Good
too.
game, hell yeah!"
He's not like that. He's a fucking nerd.
RE3, baby, let's go.
I'm in the indie game.
You literally were just playing Red Dead Redemption 2. and you played every Assassin's Creed ever.
I think
You
it was like
quite
the-
literally are not
I-
an MD gamer at all. Except
I
for
play
Deep
indie games.
Except for Deep Rock and
That's-
Power Wash Simulator.
Anthony Simulator. And
And all the
Farming
other
Simulator.
simulators I do because I'm just fucking. I don't play games to play games. I just want to pretend I'm playing a different job.
And
I want to play a video game to know what it's like to have other people's jobs.
And now back to this episode of Podcast Simulator. I'm the intern.
and Firefighter Simulator. I got that.
Jesus fucking Christ. That's not.
Cooking Simulator.
Have you thought about getting Marine Simulator?
Have you thought about dropping your fucking balls?
I sit on them sometimes and they get stuck up inside of me. I can't help it. But before I had my voice crack, let me redo my insult so you hear it. Have you ever thought about Marine Simulator because you couldn't be a Marine? Based.
Let's go play some baseball.
Sorry, just kidding. I think I want to go jerk off now.
Join us next time.
The episode's over. This is a fucking mess and there's less of us than usual.
R.I.P. Jake and Tom.
Oh, fuck, I forgot they died. Back in Australia, near the end of October in 1993, 2 more members of Aum Shinrikyo were flown to Perth after obtaining their visas. However, the Western Australian Pastoral Board had been growing increasingly suspicious of the cult's warehouse laboratory and concerned for the sheep.
That's what we're worried
The
about.
government specifically looked at this fucking big 500,000 acres and were like, I hope those fucking sheep are doing okay. You don't know what these fucking, what these Asians are doing with these sheep. Asians! After a petition to destock the cult's sheep, pastoral board seceded in an investigation on the land revealing the wells on the property were contaminated and or out of use. With this evidence, they were able to request the Australian manager to be hired and keep an eye on the sheep on the grounds. Once the Australian manager was hired, the team at the Toyota laboratory scrambled. The fax and phones were constantly in use as the cult members in Japan decided how to handle the situation. When the manager arrived, he noted that he didn't see experimentation chemicals or any exploration occurring. When confronted with the manager's confusion, the cult members only met his questions with an explanation that the sheep were either not to be shorn or to only be shorn by other members who would be arriving from Japan. After these members arrived, 2,000 sheep were shorn and immediately sent to the nearby slaughterhouse. By December of 1993, they had built a truck they referred to as Sarin Truck. Not very fucking creative, these guys. These Aum Shinrikyo
my
people.
drugmobile. The drugmobile.
Yeah.
I'm going to paint in big red letters. We have drugs.
Yes, 1 drug, please.
Nice.
yeah.
I don't want to go too far back to Breaking Bad, but shout out to Jesse, the Captain Cook fucking license plate. Same exact shit, basically. Like, what do you call that truck? Oh, it's my Sarin truck. What are you doing it?
Murder.
It's a taco truck. It's a taco truck we call sarin. The sarin truck had a mechanism built into it that would heat the liquid sarin in a metal box over an open gas stove. Nakagawa warned Morai that the vehicle would likely catch fire with the system installed. Yet, ignoring that, Murai and Tomomitsu Nimi set out in the modified truck. During dispersal, the truck caught fire with Miura and Nimi inside. Like they just got warned it would do. But that's so fucking funny. For cult members, they really don't fucking listen. That's the only thing I'm like think that's hilarious out of this is for cult members. They're like, fuck it. Now on April 27th, 1994, Asahara came out with another prediction World War III would be coming sooner than his initial guess. He predicted that the World War would occur around November of 1995. He jumped that shit up about a year.
Yep.
He claimed that both the U.S. military and the Japanese military had been gassing the cult. He started directing followers to build 1,000 automatic rifles from his connections in Russia. Asahara even procured a Mi-17 military attack helicopter for the cult. With the poison gas attacks that have continued since 1988. He just went to Florida like everybody else who wants to be a terrorist.
They went to fucking
Oh,
Florida.
that's how the 9/11.
Yeah, that's weird.
You
It's
just
like
said
it's like
everybody
I
else.
just said.
No,
like
you didn't say anything about 9/11.
I literally just said it's where all the other terrorists go. I said all the other terrorists. What are 9/11 people?
Terrorists.
Government officials, but terrorists.
Asahara began his public sermon. We are to spray the helicopters and other aircraft wherever we go. The use of poison gases such as sarin were clearly indicated. The hour of death has been foretold. The gas phenomenon has already happened. Perhaps the nuclear bomb will come next.
So, going back to that attack helicopter, I just want to say the only thing more painful than words than the Apache helicopter.
Boo!
Not the response I was looking for.
I didn't get it.
I didn't either. That's why I booed it.
Words hurt? What hurts worse than words? An Apache helicopter?
But does it?
Yeah.
I've never been hit with one. I don't know. Have you? I don't know. I don't know where we're going with this.
Only in Call of Duty.
I don't even know how to take this.
No.
It sounded a lot better in my head, but once I said it, I was like, "Whew, I kind of regret it."
I didn't know how to like respond. He said it, and I was like, What a joke. Did he make a joke?
Yeah, I honestly didn't think it was a joke at first. I thought he was like just saying a fact. I was like,
I mean, it's true though.
Is it though? I don't know.
Would you rather be shot by an Apache attack helicopter or just me calling you a mean name?
I don't know.
But
You would probably you would probably prefer the attack helicopter because I'm mean to you.
But the way you said it is like an old poet because you can't technically be hit by a word.
It's like words you say a word to me, I rubber glue that thing. You know what I'm talking about? Words bounce off of me and stick to you. I'm rubber, you're glue. There you go. I just couldn't remember the fucking saying. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and lands on you.
Okay, guys, let's get into acid because we're already sounding pretty fucked up.
Yeah, we're not even drinking.
Honestly, this is the most sober fucking table we've ever had, and this is a mess.
It's just like dead horses.
What are you talking
That's
about?
how they make glue.
How is? Oh my fucking god! I legitimately have not gotten a single one of your fucking jokes all night. You know how I said we should break off and do a comedy tour, just me and you? I'm redacting that statement on live fucking radio.
He's keeping it.
We were gonna quit the podcast and do a
and
do our own.
Don't fucking tell him because we might be able to rekindle our relationship.
Oh, you guys are.
We are not gonna quit.
Wink, wink. It's an audio podcast.
So, fun part of where they got their pilots to get trained. Guess where, boys?
Florida.
Wow. Wow.
Clearwater, Florida, to be exact.
Exactly.
Just like the terrorist on 9/11.
Yep. It's like they just train anybody.
All right, shut up. Now go on. If you want to do that, we can.
All right. I see. All right.
In May of 1994, Asahara dispatched one cult member to Russia and one to the United States. The one in Russia was to obtain lysergic acid. Cybrodynamyzenzol.
You tried your best.
Dude,
you tried your best.
I never realized acid was so hard to say. It's so much easier to take. Diethylamine and hizridine.
I wouldn't know that.
Dimethyltryptamine? That's DMT.
Isn't that a rap band?
Thanks, Joe.
Oh, no, it's DMZ.
The one sent to the United States was sent on a mission to observe and ascertain how to produce lysergide, LSD. Asahara ordered the tabs of acid to be distributed to thousands of his new members in hopes that the drugs would lead to mystical experiences. Cult members would often be drugged with LSD without their knowledge. Many of Asahara's initiation ceremonies started to revolve around the forced consumption of LSD and narcotics, followed by humiliating the initiates in front of the other cult members. Could you imagine being on acid and some big stinky bearded guy you already think is a wizard pulls your pants down and says, "Look at his stinky little cock," and then everybody
slaps your dick around.
Everybody just starts laughing at you, and then your cock starts laughing at you too because you're tripping off acid. And you're just like,
I'm having some PTSD from the Boy Scouts.
The shit that gets said on this podcast, I swear to fucking God.
I'm just kidding. I was never in Boy Scouts.
But he was on LSD and molested, so... The cult also discussed using LSD as a weapon, sprinkling it over cities or into food and water. While the cult never did drug a large population outside of their own members, which is fucking hilarious. They're like, well, they never did it to anybody but themselves, so they really harming anybody. Still like fucking 5,000 people. Like, just fucking 5,000 people just running around thinking these sheep are fucking like goat men from Diablo ready to fucking like tear them apart.
Yeah, now we call that Bonnaroo. We just call that Bonnaroo.
Oh, fuck. That's even more fucked up. They even kidnapped the people, and then they fucking gave them LSD and tried to get, like, reasonable answers out of them. Could you imagine how hard it would be to interrogate someone who's on acid?
I giggle at the fact that my hair's growing on my hand or, like, the walls are waving. Like, I couldn't hold a conversation.
I've never been on acid, so I have no idea.
Oh, it's great. I bet whenever they did, like, kidnap these people and, like, drug them, I bet it was, like, an over-exceeding amount of acid. Because, like, 1 or 2 tabs, fine, cool. But, like, 10 to 12, not okay. That's too much acid.
Dude, that's how the Charlie Manson girls fucking almost killed that poor girl. They fucking dosed the shit out of a hamburger with, like, a whole, like...
sheet.
Days worth of fucking acid. They just kept putting it on there. She fucking lost her mind. Like, you go insane. You trip forever.
Yeah. Like,
why are you guys talking down to me?
Because you're a stupid idiot who doesn't do drugs, except for the ones that save your stupid fucking life.
I do the marijuana sometimes. One drug, please.
Wait, God, we're back to the ordering of drugs.
I want you to go to your local dispensary and go in there and say, I'd like one drug, please.
No, okay.
Give me one of your finest drugs, please.
I'll go to Illinois and do that.
They did produce 200,000 doses, or roughly 2,000 sheets of LSD.
Holy shit!
A sheet, it's like 100 hits. That's a lot of LSD.
I don't know, that's what I said. Holy shit.
On June 27th of 1994, at 10:40 p.m., several cult members set out in new versions of the original sarin trucks, now made from refrigerated trucks equipped with 12 liters of sarin and fans to help diffuse the aerolized liquid. With the temperature control to prevent the vehicles from overheating so they don't catch fire again, cult members drove through neighborhoods of the governmental figures overseeing a lawsuit they were involved in. A thick fog of sarin vapor spread across lawns and into the homes of residents in the Kaichi Heights neighborhood in Matsumoto, Nagano. 8 residents were killed, and it harmed 500 more individuals as the gas dispersed and spread. So one of the first times they legitimately think that they have it right, they actually do. After 20 attempts.
Yeah.
And they go into this one, they're like, "Oh, dude, we're gonna cause some damage." 508 people affected by this one attack.
Yep.
Just spreading it out in front of
just driving.
Lawn.
Just driving. Hitting a button, letting the gas out every so often.
In June of 1994, the Toyota Laboratory was put up for sale. But July, it was sold for $237,000. $165,000 less than they had originally paid for it. Man, whoever bought that got out like a fucking
fiend.
Yeah. By July, when the Australian Federal Police raided the property, they weren't prepared for what they saw. 29 dead sheep dotted the farmlands, poisoned with experimental levels of sarin. Damn, they just sold that shit and left them poor dead sheep just sitting there, all dead. And
Look,
shit.
they couldn't figure it out, all right? They're all high on LSD, just constantly. Like, whenever you hear this story and you hear, these people doing something, just imagine they're on a lot of LSD the entire time they're doing this. So, they don't know what the fuck's going on.
Back in Japan, the experimentation with sarin and the VX gas continued. On December 2nd, Noboru Mizuno was targeted for protecting a former member of the cult who had escaped. Mizuno felt his vision go dark after a member had dripped VX onto his neck with a syringe, and the needle was removed. So it didn't even get fucking pushed into him. It just was on him, and it fucking made him fucking lose his sight. That'd be so scary. Nerve gases are scary. He was rushed to the hospital. The assassination attempt failed. 10 days later, another assassination attempt was made using VX. 83-year-old Tadahiro Hamaguchi was walking in Osaka, Japan at 7 a.m. Unbeknownst to him, 6 members of Aum Shinrikyo, including Nakagawa, were following him. Hamaguchi was believed by the cult to be a Japanese police spy, working against Aum Shinrikyo. One member stood as a lookout as the other 5 pinned Hamaguchi down. He was injected with VX by a syringe with the needle attached. After the members successfully injected him, they released him and ran. Hamaguchi followed the members for almost 100 yards before he lost consciousness. For 10 days, Tadahiro Hamaguchi lay in a hospital bed in a coma. He died December 22nd, 1994. So really just getting into killing people right now. They're no scruples with it anymore.
Well, they also believe that the end of times is coming, that this war is about to start. So a couple deaths,
That's true.
Yeah.
On January 4th, 1995, Asahara directed his accusations of betrayal towards Hiroyuki Nagaoko. Nagaoko stood as the head of the Association of the Victims of Aum Shinrikyo and was said to be harboring an ex-cult member. Using a syringe with a tube attached, members attempted to sprinkle VX on his skin. Nagaoko was hospitalized and went into a coma shortly after. In February of 1995, members of Aum kidnapped a 69-year-old village office administrator named Kiyoshi Kariya. Kariya's sister had escaped the cult, and it was assumed that he was hiding her from Asahara. The cult members plucked Kariya off the streets of Tokyo and drove him in a van to one of their compounds in Kawaguchi. The cult members interrogated him about his siblings' whereabouts, pumping him full of LSD and thipentanol the whole while. Kariya died during the interview of an overdose. His body was cremated using the microwave-powered incinerator based on Basov's Maser research. His ashes and further remains were then disposed of nearby Lake Kawaguchi. Little did his killers know their victim had left a rather large clue behind in his home. Later found by the police, Kariya had written a note that read, If I disappear, I was abducted by Aum Shinrikyo.
Dun dun dun.
Karya was not the only one to be cremated in the microwave incinerator on the complex. Asahara, turning his sights inward on the cult, accused 29-year-old Kotaro Ochida, an Aum follower and pharmacist, of being a spy. Ochida had grown close with a woman named Fumiko, who had joined in hopes that Asahara could cure her. Seeing that she did not have much money left and that she was showing advancing signs of Parkinson's disease, he contacted the woman's son. Her son, Hideki Yasuda, was also an Aum Shinrikyo cult member. She is in Satien number 6, Ochida told Yasuda. We'll wait until 2 or 3 in the morning before we make our move. Here, change into these Aum clothes so that if we should bump into anyone, they won't suspect that we are outsiders. I'll carry some tear gas and a firebomb for protection. We will have to be very careful if we are caught. I do not know what Asahara will do to us. We now know that he's capable of anything, even murder, to protect himself and Aum Shinrikyo's continued existence. When they were caught, they were handcuffed and led to the meditation room. Inside waiting, Asahara and Tomoko greeted him. Surrounded by other high-ranking cult members,
So the black sheep has returned to the fold, Asahara said. Now, what shall we do with you? They decided to present Yasuda with a unique choice, Ochida's life or his own.
Ochida was pinned down by several cult members and a rope was wrapped around his neck. The rope was thrown over a beam and handed to Yasuda. He hesitated and Asahara yelled at him to make his decision. The cult leader watched as he pulled down on the rope and Ochida thrashed. Continue strangling him, Asahara ordered, shifting around on his feet. I thought if I didn't kill him, I might be killed, so I couldn't help doing it, Yasuda said. That's so scary. I never want to be in a situation where I'm so scared that somebody will murder me that I have to murder somebody else.
It's either do it or be murdered.
Nakagawa stood near Asahara, trying to avoid Ochida's desperate gaze. They had been friends before this, but Nakagawa knew better than to object to Asahara's demands. Instead, Nakagawa stepped forward and assisted Yasuda in strangling Ochida, attempting to make his friend's death more swift and less painful. They held the rope until Ochida stopped moving, and a steady stream of urine was released from his body. Nakagawa confirmed that Ochida no longer had a pulse. Asahara stated in response, Good, Hideki-san. Remember, you are not to mention this incident to anyone. I don't want to have to remind you of this in more unpleasant ways. You are to keep in touch with Aum and come back here every week for training. Oh yes, dispose of Ochida's body as soon as possible and make sure that there are no traces of what had happened to him this morning. With that, he began to devise a disaster so large that Japan would never be the same. On March 20th, 1995, at 7:39 a.m., 5 two-person teams made up of members of Aum Shinrikyo stepped onto 3 different subway lines during rush hour in Tokyo. Each one carried a few small plastic bags, 11 in total, filled with sarin and wrapped in newspaper, and an umbrella with a sharpened tip. Once on board, they placed the plastic bags on the floor or up in the baggage racks. At 8 a.m., all 5 of the cultists stood and poked a small hole in their bags for the gas to be released using their umbrellas. After departing, they changed their clothes, burned the set of clothes they had removed. Tokyo's train system transports more than 5 million commuters daily. The train system was their target not only for a large number of passengers, but also the possibility that the bags would go unnoticed and continue to leak sarin gas all over the city. As commuters boarded the train, they felt a stinging sensation in their eyes. The smell of mustard and burnt rubber filled the air. Within seconds, passengers were choking, convulsing, coughing, and vomiting. Some were blinded by the gas, some were paralyzed, and blood gushed from the mouths and noses of passengers. Sarin, like many other nerve agents, prevents the regulation of glands and muscles. This means that the glands and muscles in the human body would be stimulated over and over. Eventually, this leads to exhaustion and respiratory failure will set in. These effects quickly spread to people out of the subway station platforms and out into the surrounding neighborhoods. By 9 a.m., the first emergency phone call was made to the Tokyo Metropolitan Fire Department. At 8:10, the conductors of the train released this message: Sick passenger, Tezuki, next stop. Evacuate, evacuate, evacuate. The train was evacuated and searched, but the staff couldn't find anything to suggest that the sarin was coming from the trains, and they had resumed their regular schedule. The sarin was said to have been smelled by people walking on the streets above the Nakanao Sakao station, Every person that stepped off these trains carried the sarin gas with them. That's the scariest part.
So, rush hour, Chicago, New York, anytime a busy area, it's pure calamity. This is rush hour for Japan. They use the train systems to get to and from work. 5 million people. If this would have gone off without a hitch, this would have dwarfed the 9/11 attack that we had here. This would have been so catastrophic to fucking Japan that it wouldn't just be like,
It would ruin the country.
Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely.
The new people entering the trains also fell victim to the sarin gas, and the subway lines were halted at 8:50 a.m. Nearly an hour later, emergency medical sites were fully established and staffed by emergency professionals in face masks. Thankfully, due to the coverage on the Matsumoto City gas attacks and the impure batch of sarin that Aum had made, motherfuckers just couldn't make pure drugs if they wanted to. That's all.
The
I'm
only thing
learning.
they could get right is LSD and how to make assault rifles. That's all they could fucking do.
I would like to at least know one of those skills.
Yeah.
Backwood American way.
Yeah.
The coordinated attack left 54 commuters severely injured, 980 commuters injured, and 13 commuters dead. Among the 13 dead were 2 subway employees who went out of their way to try and discard the sarin-filled bags away from the passengers. A total of around 6,000 individuals were immediately affected by the sarin gas as it was spread to other parts of the city, including commuters, workplaces, and hospitals that took in victims of the attack. While the attack was initially geared to distract the police, all it had done was drawn more attention to Aum Shinrikyo. A warrant for arrest was immediately issued for Shoko Asahara, and his followers scrambled to hide their leader somewhere safe. Explosives, sodium cyanide, phosgene gas.
You said it right.
I know. The next thing's called tabun. And I don't know. That doesn't sound dangerous like everything else. Explosives, sodium cyanide, phosgene gas, tabun, 1 assault rifle that the cult had made, and labs equipped with producing LSD and meth, truth serum, millions of dollars in USD, gold, prison cells with dissenters and enemies of the cult still inside. Holy
Jesus
fuck.
fuck.
An assassination list, and literal tons of sarin in drums. Labs to produce mustard gas, anthrax, Ebola cultures, and the Russian military helicopter were found in police raids, along with 66,000 other items of evidence.
Jesus fuck.
It's just a
Holy
regular
fuck.
neighborhood in Montana.
I guess. I don't know what that means for sure.
Talon just knows all this shit I don't know. He knows what a helicopter feels like. I've never been to Montana. I don't know any of this shit, man. He just knows. It's weird.
It's like Far Cry 5. That's set in Montana.
I do know
Yep.
a little bit now. You're right. I actually do know. On April 23rd of 1995, Hideo Murai, Aum's head of the Ministry of Science team, was stabbed to death outside of the cult's headquarters. Nearly 100 reporters were present, and the perpetrator was caught on camera. Si Yu Hyung, otherwise known as Joe Hiryuki, was a member of the Han Gumi branch of the Yamaguchi Gumi organization owned by the Yakuza. As more of the cult's crimes were leaked to the media and Murai made more frequent appearances on TV, the Yakuza grew worried that he would reveal secrets about their connections and betray their trust. Despite their raids and Murai's murders, only continued forward with more veracity. On May 5th of the year, the cult enacted another coordinated attack. One of the most bustling train stations in Tokyo, Shinjuku Station, was their target. 2 members of the cult entered the restroom and left a bag with a timed weapon inside. They set the timer, placed the bag near the ventilation shaft, and exited the room. A member of the train's custodial staff found the bag shortly after she entered the bathroom for a routine cleaning. She lifted the bag, and peering inside, she saw a strange object containing a fine white powder and a white-red liquid. She placed the bag out of sight behind the restroom door and finished her work. When the timer reached 0, the device inside started a small fire. After contacting the authorities, the weapon was found to contain liquid cyanide that was meant to become aerolized and travel through the vents of the station, affecting up to 10,000 people. Several more cyanide dispersing mechanisms were found at all other locations around Tokyo's subway system. On the morning of May 16, 1995, though, the manhunt for Asahara was over. He was found behind a wall in a small hidden room behind the second and third floor of a building. He was reportedly found in lotus position, sitting on the floor with his legs crossed, the same way Shiva is often depicted. He was charged with 17 separate offenses, one of them being 23 counts of murder.
He was also surrounded by like $1 million fucking too. Like when they found him, he was just surrounded by a shitload of money, sitting in this like graceful ass pose. Like he didn't just like try to murder like a shitload of fucking people.
And I know this is the last podcast thing, but I absolutely love the fact that they dropped about how he was found because of all the melons.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
there. He fucking ordered truckloads of fucking melons because it was his favorite fruit.
Yep.
He's like a big stinky orangutan just hanging out between $1 million. A little over a month after his arrest on June 21st of 1995, Asahara cracked. He acknowledged his involvement in Kotaro Ochida's death. In October, the cult was officially stripped of its status as a religion, and shortly after, they declared bankruptcy. By late 1996, he admitted to leading the cult in the sarin gas attacks on Tokyo's subway system. In February of 2000, Aum Shinrikyo updated its name to ELF and distanced themselves from Asahara. And that's ELF, A-L-E-P-H, not A-L-F, the cool little alien. Japan's police force was able to charge 189 former Aum Shinrikyo cultists in total. February 27, 2004, Asahara's fate was decided. He and a total of 12 other members were sentenced to death. After his verdict was read, Asahara refused to eat, speak, or get out of his bed to use the bathroom. Eventually, a wheelchair was required to transport him anywhere. In May of 2007, ELF lost around 200 members to create a new religious organization, Hikari no Wa, a.k.a. the Circle of Rainbow Light. It was founded by Fushihiro Joyu. Joyu runs the licensed Japanese new religious movement now with Manan Larey and his son, Anthony.
Antonio.
His name is Anthony. On July 6th, 2018, Shoko Asahara, Yoshihiro Inui, Tomomitsu Nimi, Tomomasa Nakakawa, Kiyohide Hawakawa, Seiichi Endo, and Masahime Teshiwa were executed by hanging. Shizui Takanashi, a widow of a subway worker killed in the sarin gas attack, told reporters, he, of course, deserves death. The execution was processed as it should be, so no tears for me at all. The last 6 sentenced to death were all perpetrators of the Tokyo subway station sarin attacks and were executed on July 26, 2018 in the same way. And with Shoko Asahara dead, that brings the story of Aum Shinrikyo and Shoko Asahara also to an end.
Hey, we finally got here, boys.
Da, 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 da.
So I know I said it in our previous episode 1 of Aum Shinrikyo, that his daughter was very active in trying to see him, and at the end of his life, he was so fucking messed up from all the LSD that he was doing at that point in time that he didn't even remember her. He didn't remember how to, do a lot of the things that a normal person would be able to do, not just because of his old age, but because of all the fucking drugs he was doing.
Elvis.
I'm really glad that it wasn't like the Nuremberg trials where they arrest a shitload of high-ranking German officers and they murder them, they kill them, even though there's 20,000 SS soldiers. Like, they should have gone after them too. They were all committing war crimes. But I'm glad the people that were responsible for all the death, the mayhem, got what they deserved. A brutal fucking hanging from Japan,
This really is actually one of the few examples you could say about a cult where a lot of the innocents were left innocent. They went on with their life. A lot of the people that didn't even know all this shit were going on, they got to go on and do their own thing. It's not like something small like the Manson family where fucking one dickhead goes and kills a bunch of people and now all fucking 20 of you are in trouble and all you want to do is eat pussy and drive dune bugs.
So with that, guys, I cannot thank you guys enough for checking out the episode. If you want to go ahead and donate to Tom and Jake's funeral, Go ahead and subscribe to our Patreon.
And we just want to say they're not actually dead unless they die in the next couple weeks.
That's not on us.
That's fucked up, though.
That's not on us.
I'm keeping this in, and that's fucked up. If they die in a few weeks, we called it, and that's fucked up.
If that happens, I am a fortune teller, and you should give me your money.
So, guys, with that, I want to go ahead and say thank you so much for checking us out. Thank you for listening to Aum Shinrikyo Part 2. Don't forget to check out our Patreon. Send us $1. We've got bonus content on there. Send us whatever you think this show's worth. It really helps us out keep this show going. Go ahead and check out our other shows, Men of Misfortune, Anime, This is a Morning Cup of Chaos.
Check us out on Snapchat, too. Morning Cup of Chaos has their own Snapchat. I believe it's Morning Cock. I can look it up real quick.
Morning Cock.
He made it, and he still doesn't know the name of it.
Don't forget to check
I don't go on it anymore because all it is just fucking sex bots.
Oh, yeah.
So
don't forget to check us out on our Instagram, Men of Misfortune, our Facebook, Men of Misfortune. Send us an email if you want to talk to us. We're always up to talking to people that enjoy the show. Like, we love it. We love to talk to you guys. So please send us an email. I also need to do a special shout out to Weekly Tall Talk Podcast for giving us a shout out on their show. Please go ahead and check out their show. It's fucking awesome. They're funny guys. They're great people all the way from California.
And they're super tall.
And dude, they are really fucking tall. Yeah? The guy
tall.
Thank God, because I'm so sick of being fucking associated with a bunch of you fucking short little punks.
What the fuck do you mean short? We're about the same size. Tyler's the shortest one here because he's not a real man.
I'm
5'11".
3 inches taller.
What do you want
than
me to be? What do you want me to be?
6 foot is the man cut.
I'm wearing a dress shirt.
Yeah, Zack
you-
Schneider,
you look
release
like
the
a
man
fucking-
cut.
you look like a goddamn vampire off Twilight.
Damn. All right.
You do kind of look like a Twilight vampire.
I've been called out and assaulted all at the same time, and I do not
Assaulted?
No, those are sexy vampires.
I don't appreciate this conversation the way it's going right now. I don't care if these are compliments or fucking disses. I don't give a shit, and I don't take too kindly to your fucking beard. And with that, I am the fearless leader, Tyler Campbell.
I'm the intern, Dylan.
A priest, a pastor, and a rabbit enter a clinic to donate blood. The nurse asked the rabbit, "What's your blood type?" "I'm probably a typo," said the rabbit. Is it supposed to be
Rabbi. Okay.
And I'm your diabetic daddy, Talon. And remember to stay fucking chaotic.
And always listen to Mom, and we're out.